Sizleri en kalbi duygularımla, muhabbetle selamlıyorum.
Estimable
Türkiye
guests, I would
Otelciler
like to greet you all
Federasyonumuz
wholeheartedly and with
Turofed'in
compassion.
7. olağan genel
Turofed's
kurulun
Turkey
üyelerinize
Hotelier
ve sektörümüze
Federation's
hayırlı
seventh
olmasını diliyorum.
ordinary board
Ülkemiz
meeting hopefully will be auspicious for our
tarihiyle,
country
tabiatıyla,
and for our
gastronomisiyle,
people, with
en
its
önemlisiyle
nature,
insanıyla
gastronomy, and
adeta
more
dünyanın tüm
importantly,
güzelliklerini kendinde toplamış
with its
bir
people,
hazineye
our country
sahip.
has, if you will,
Güneyimizdeki
a treasure
sahillerimiz
that
bir başka
brings
güzeldir.
all beauties together.
Ege'mizin
Our
koyları
coastlines by the
bir
south
başka güzeldir.
sides of our country
Marmara'mızın kadim
is
çağlardan beri süren
especially beautiful. This
cazibesi
goes the same for the
bir
Aegean
başka
side.
güzeldir.
And
Karadenizimizin yeşili
the green of
bir
our
başka
Black Sea
güzeldir.
region is
Doğu Anadolu'muzun kışı
distinctively beautiful. The
bir başka
winter
güzeldir.
of
Güneydoğu
Eastern Anatolia
Anadolu'muzun
is
otantikliği
distinctively
bir
beautiful. The
başka
authenticity
güzeldir.
of our
İç
southeast
Anadolu'muzun gizli
Anatolia
hazineleri
is
bir başka güzeldir.
has a special
Velhasıl
beauty, and
tüm
the hidden
bölgeleri ve
treasures of
şehirleriyle
Central
turizm
Anatolia
sektörünün gelişip büyümesine
has
uygun bir ülkede yaşıyoruz.
a special beauty.
Dünyada turizm
And
sektörünün
we live
büyük atılım
in a
gösterdiği
country
dönemlerde biz çeşitli sebeplerle süreci
as such
hep geriden
in
takip ettik. Her
the
alanda
world
olduğu gibi turizmde de
where many
ilk büyük
developments take place.
hareketliliği
We followed
Allah rahmet
the
eylesin
process a bit
Özal
late.
döneminde
And
başladı.
just like in many
Daha
areas,
sonraki
the
dönemlerin
movements in the field of
istikrarsız
tourism started in
ortamında
the period
yavaşlayan
of
turizm
the late
yatırımları
Turgut
AK Parti
Özal.
hükümetleriyle
And
birlikte
unstable
yeniden
investments of the past
her ne
then
kadar küresel salgın
has
döneminde
gained
kısa bir ara
speed
vermiş
again
olsak da
during AK Party's
turist
terms.
sayısı,
Even though
hem
we
turizm
had a
gelirliği
short break
bakımından
in the face of the
ülkemizin
pandemic in terms
zirve
of the numbers
noktasını
of tourists
hep
as
birlikte
well as
yaşıyoruz.
the income generated
Turist
through
başına
tourism,
gecelik
we
harcamanın
experienced a
1000
top point
dolara
of
yaklaşması,
tourism.
verilen
The
emeklerin
amount of
karşılığının
per
alınmaya
night
başlandığının
expenses per
işaretidir.
tourist has come
Türkiye'nin
to almost
2021'de
$1,000.
dünyada turist
And
sayısında
this is an indicator in
turizm gelirinde 8.
2021
sıraya yükselmiş olması bu yıl
Turkey
çok daha iyi yerlere geleceğimizin
made it to the fourth
habercisidir.
rank in
Sahip
the number of
olduğumuz bakanlık
tourists
belgeli
and the eighth rank in terms
4768
of
konaklama
income.
tesisi
More
ve
than
1.085.000 yatak kapasitesini
4,700
yeni yatırımlarla
accommodation
takviye
facilities
ediyoruz.
and thousands of bed
Basit
capacities
konaklama işletme
are
belgeli
supported with new
olanlarla beraber
investments. Together
toplam
with
faal tesis
those
sayımız
facilities
20.000.
with
Yatak
simple
kapasitemiz
accommodation, the
1
number
milyon
of facilities
730
go
binin
as high
üzerine
as
çıkıyor.
20,000
Dünyada
and the
giderek
bed
önem kazanan
capacity
çevreye duyarlı,
to more than
yani yeşil
1.3
yıldızlı tesis
million.
sayımızda
And
hızla
eco-friendly
artıyor.
green
Bu yılın ilk 10 ayında
facilities are also
193
on the
milyon
rise in their
gecelemeyi geride
number.
bırakan
In the beginning
sektörümüzü
of this
tüm
year,
yatırımcıları,
we had
işletmecileri ve
millions of
çalışanlarıyla
days of
şahsım ve
accommodation,
ülkem adına
and I would like
tebrik
to
ediyorum.
congratulate all
3000'i
the
bulan
enterprises
üye ve
for
800 bine
their
yaklaşan
work.
yatak
With
kapasitesiyle
more than 3
sektörün
million
en büyük sivil
members
toplum
and around
temsilcisi olan
800,000 bed
Trofet'te
capacity,
bu başarıda
Trofet, the
pay
biggest
sahibidir.
representative of the
Geleneksel tüm
industry, is
misafirperverliğini
an
modern
important
işletmecilik
part,
anlayışıyla harmanlayarak
bringing a
ülkemizi
traditional
turizmde bir dünya
hospitality
markası haline
with
getiren, bu
together
yolda
with
çaba harcayan
modern
herkese
understanding.
şükranlarımı
I
sunuyorum.
would like to thank to everyone
Değerli
who has
misafirler,
contributed to this
turizmdeki
field.
rakiplerimizin
Distinguished guests,
küresel
our
krizlerin
competitors
etkisiyle irtifa
in
kaybettiği şu
tourism
dönemde
in this era
bizim çok daha fazla
loses
çalışarak dünya
height.
liderliğine
And in this
yükselme
period,
yolumuz
by way of
açıktır.
working more, our
Millet
path
olarak en büyük
to
vasfımız
world
olan
leadership is
krizleri
open.
fırsata çevirme maharetimizi,
Our ability to turn
ekonomimizi
crises into opportunities
istihdam,
and
üretim,
growing our
ihracat
economy
ve cari
on
fazla
the
yoluyla
pillars of current
büyüterek
account surplus,
tekrar
employment,
göstereceğimizden
production,
kimse şüphe etmiyor.
export will
Sadece turizm
be
sektöründe
what
halihazırda
we will do.
609
No
yeni
one
tesis
should have a
ve
doubt. In
143 bini
tourism,
aşkın
more
yeni
than
yatak kapasitesine sahip yatırımların sürmesi bu gerçeğin
143,000 bad capacity investment and many facilities to be opened will be the indicators of that. And at hand we have sun, sea, sand, and we have also many other opportunities, few of which maybe we benefit. The southeast Anatolia region, which we cleared from terrorism, is one of those beauties coming from our thousands years of history. Health tourism, in which we proved our strengthened infrastructure, is one other element. Spanning across all corners of Anatolia are traveling routes which have unique histories are of those. From Istanbul to Bursa, from Izmir to Van, from Çanakkale to Hatay, many cities are tourism locations. Şanlıurfa, Anatolia's other regions and many places are even what I do not mention, and we are becoming more and more aware of our tourism power. And you probably have noticed in places where we go abroad, we see images that fascinate us. In some places, history; in some other places, gastronomy; in some other places, history. Are elements available. Our difference is that our country is able to put all of these to the service of visitors. The value of the geography we live in may not be recognized by all of us sufficiently, but everyone coming from outside, taking a look immediately, becomes aware of that riches. And tourism sector is what to make the best of these beauties. In tourism, we have finished our stages of apprenticeship and also foremanship. Now, it is about time we move on to mastership. Every benefit, every know-how, everything we do should be done aligned with this experience. In many developed countries, because of shortages of skilled and educated people, we should make our mastership speak out loud, if you will. Each and every member of our tourism sector will find the support of our government with themselves, and they should be sure of that. When it comes to the matters of Turkey, Turkey's interests, we do not care about the roots or origin of people. What we only care about is the services and projects we bring to and adorn our country with. We have never made politics with xenophobia, and we will not. We, in the first century of the Republic, further improved our infrastructure and reinsured our regional and global power. This is how we make into the second century of our Republic. The democracy and development efforts we have had over the past 2 decades is what you have all witnessed. And now a new era, which we call the century of Turkey, is opening in front of us. And inshallah, we will be building the century of Turkey together with you all. Valuable guests, we talked about the beauties, riches, and potential of the geography we live in, and of course, the same geography brings certain challenges to us, which we cannot ignore. All across the country, crises, conflicts, and atrocities going around are what we try to keep our country out. The regional sensitivities are measured meticulously with sensitivity and then decide our policies accordingly. When time needed, we see the impact of our global heritage and our personal credit, and when these do not suffice, we use all means, military-wise, economically, or politically. We commission all, and our aim is to make sure that our country is in the center of the restructured, reshaped global economic, financial, and political architecture, and make sure that we do not lose any of the opportunities slipping out of our hands. Whenever Turkey comes to the threshold of a movement, dirty games as played in the past is pushed to our way. From coup makers to hitmen, from all, we see different actors even though they come under different names. There are some who try to bring our country to political instability, economic recession, social conflict, and also the swamp of lack of vision. And there are people as such, of course, in our day. The acts of terror and groundless claims and allegations against our country internationally, and the increasing number of black propaganda are all the products of the same scenario. But there's one thing that they do forget. Turkey is no longer the Turkey of the old times. With a few terrorists or with a $3-5 billion worth of speculations or with the delusions of a few incompetent politicians, nobody can make our country go out of its track. Over the past 2 decades, it is always possible to see the mileage that our country has covered in advancement in democracy. There are those who do not want to recognize, acknowledge that, but let them do so as they can. From the cross-border operations of our heroic armed forces to all other activities, Turkey has put forward that in all fields. Even the success of our tourism sector on a standalone basis is sufficient to prove that, and hopefully in the forthcoming periods on this strong infrastructure we will be walking towards even greater success. In 12 years ago, when we presented our 2023 goals, there were those who covered their lips, but now they are feeling obliged to take their hats off. While we celebrate our victories with joy, those across us will need to recognize the current situation and know their places. As long as we hold tightly and keep this brotherhood, this joy, excitement, this unity, it will do it. Believe me, the rest will follow. May God be with us and help us. With these thoughts in mind, I once again hope that the 7th Ordinary Board meeting of Turkey Hoteliers Federation will be auspicious, and I would like to thank to everyone who has taken roles and contributed to the Federation from its foundation on. I would like to greet each and every one of you with love and respect. Thank you very much.
Saygılarımızı arz ediyoruz ve Zaltı devletlerini bir müddet daha tensip buyurmanız halinde sahnede misafir etmek isteriz. Gün anısına hediye takdimimiz için efendim. Efendim şimdi gün anısına hediyelerini takdim etmek üzere Trofet Yönetim Kurulu Başkanı Sayın Sururi Çorabatır'ı ve Kültür ve Turizm Bakanımız Sayın Mehmet Nuri Ersoy'u bir kez daha alkışlarınızla sahneye davet ediyoruz. Buyursunlar lütfen. Efendim bizler de hemen hediyemizin içeriğinden hem Sayın Cumhurbaşkanımıza hem de kıymetli konuklarımıza arz etmek isteriz. Bu hediyemiz, bu eser Kabe-i Şerif iç örtüsü parçasından yorumlanarak, esinlenerek uygulanmış. Üzerinde Allah ve Efendimizin ismi, Muhammed isimleri yazılıdır. Şu anda Sayın Cumhurbaşkanımıza takdim ediliyor. Çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Sayın Cumhurbaşkanımız, efendim şimdi yüksek müsaadelerinizle bir aile fotoğrafıyla genel kurulumuz